Basically, Joe, I have a little boy, Rory, with cerebral palsy. When Rory was 8 months old, we were told that basically he had cerebral palsy, that he'd never walk and never talk and be in a wheelchair by the age of 3. And I suppose this news absolutely broke my heart. I did manage to find a pioneering surgeon who has performed neurological surgery on Rory, and thankfully Rory managed to take his first 8 steps 8 days after surgery. We had to get Rory over there with no support from the HSE.
Over where?
We had to over to St. Louis Children's Hospital in Missouri.
Okay, yeah.
So basically, myself and my husband, along with the local community, basically had to take to the street to fundraise for this surgery for our little boy. The service, since we've come back, which is 12 months ago now, has been so poor, Joe. I'm literally at breaking point. My heart is broken. I feel I've been pushed out of the service, pushed out of the area, pushed out of my home. The HSE have neglected my little boy at every opportunity. They have just done as much as is possible, I think, to just break myself. I've been very strong so far, but I just can't keep continuing to meet the battles that I'm facing with them. I was devastated when I was told he'd be in a wheelchair by the age of 3. And unfortunately, Rory is now 4. And I have been told that I have no option really but to put Rory into a wheelchair because he's at risk of scoliosis of the spine. And a recent x-ray has shown that Rory's right hip is at risk of dislocation. So I had to get my head around that, and I'll be honest, like I cried myself to sleep a good few nights, but we brought Rory up to the CRC for an assessment, for his first wheelchair. And yeah, when I was crying, to be honest, Rory done so well, I couldn't but be proud of him. He literally took off down the hall, starting to look at me, Mammy, and I could see the independence that the wheelchair was going to give him, and I suppose it just dried my eyes, and I was like, you know what? If it gives Rory a bit of independence, he can still walk with his little frame. If it keeps him in the correct position, if it keeps him safe, it's the best thing to do.
Okay.
So we had been told that little Rory would get his wheelchair ordered on the 8th of August. Basically, Rory was to start preschool here in Sligo last May, and the HSE stopped it. They sent me a message 2 days beforehand to say they'd no funding for his SNA. So much has gone on over the last 12 months. We've kind of been forced out, like I say, and we made the massive decision that myself and Rory are going to move to Galway because the Enable Ireland preschool down there has a place for little Rory. And I've been on to the rec to find out where exactly is Rory's wheelchair, has it been ordered, and it turns out they didn't order it. So I've been for the second time now with the HSE going to stop my little boy beginning preschool, making friends, all the things that he deserves to do.
Yeah, but Shauna, had the HSE told you they did order Rory's wheelchair?
When we had the assessment, they told us that it would be ordered on Monday. We had the assessment on the Friday, and we were promised it would be ordered on the Monday. I sent 4 emails to the manager here in Sligo, and I've had absolutely no reply.
Okay, well, it could be it's holiday times, a lot of people not around.
No,
it's not fair.
It's not that, Joe. I mean, it's like I know that he's at work. It's not that. I think, Joe, it's probably the fact that we have removed ourselves from the service, and really and truly they just don't want to help, and they just want to wash their hands off us.
Well, is there confusion because you're now saying you're going to Galway?
No, there's not confusion because we're not going to be in Galway until the 1st of September, and they're aware of that.
And Shauna, when you say moving to Galway, do you mean you're moving lock, stock and barrel to Galway?
I mean, yeah, permanently moving to Galway. The service here has done nothing but neglect Rory.
So you're following the service, and as happens, Enable Ireland are going to run this, but you're following the service. You're uprooting and following the service.
We're moving to Galway with the hopes that Rory will receive a better service down there. I mean, I actually had the HSE coordinator out here within 24 hours and signed us out of the service. That's the fastest thing that they have ever done in the last 4 years.
And where are they transferring you to?
We're being transferred into the Enable Ireland service, which is obviously the service for children and adults with cerebral palsy in Ireland. and they're basically welcoming up Rory with open arms. It's a huge move, but it's what we have to do, because if they continue to neglect Rory at the degree that they have, I don't know where it's going to end. I mean, they've pushed me so far. I mean, they have me broken. I write emails about emails. And the saddest part of all, Joel, I actually work in the HSE, and I've taken a 5-year career break. And I always thought that we provided a fantastic service. But you know what? No, we don't. It's a shameful service. Yeah, you take a parent who is a disabled child, and you don't want your child in a wheelchair, and then you're left in the position where you're begging for the wheelchair. How would anybody mentally, be able to cope with that? You know what I mean?
Well, I know the HSE. I know the HSE is 100,000 employees, but can you see it in the job you're doing, or you are doing in the HSE? Can you see it from both sides? Can you see it from the inside?
Absolutely not, no.
Okay.
Tell you what I can see, Joe. I can see the wastage. I know the wastage. I've witnessed the wastage. Yeah? And now that I'm the far side, it's like...
And wastage where, like?
Oh, Joe, I wouldn't even know where to start. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, they get more on travel allowance than anything else. I've had OTs come out here just to get their travel allowance, to basically run my house into the ground, to tell me that my house is not wheelchair accessible. Where's my access?
I don't know about different.
Basically telling me, Joe, that...
Okay, but don't go down that road. Do you think there's a lot of waste generally in HSE? That's your point.
Oh, it's not just waste. It's actually neglect. I mean, Rory hasn't seen a speech and language therapist for 12 months solid. I sent Rory's assessment need application in back in 2012. No reply.
Okay.
So
when what's the
Nobody knows where it is.
What's the time scale? When will you move to Sligo? Or to Galway?
I need to find somewhere to live in Galway by the 1st of September. I'm very unsuccessful at the moment. I'm literally searching Google, trying to get somewhere, and just get down there and let Rory start.
Well, you have to commute for an initial period.
I go down to Galway 5 days a week, and I'll come back at the weekend and spend time with my husband. But myself, my husband and my 2 children will move to Galway. That's going to be our permanent residence now, because the service here has been so poor. I mean, we're already under huge stress, as the HSE knows. Basically, Rory has gone over to St. Louis Children's Hospital in December. He's scheduled for surgery date in December. They won't help us fund the surgery. We're actually selling our house to fund the operation. We're selling wristbands. We're trying to organise fundraisers. We're very lucky insofar as we've got Katie Taylor, Paddy Barnes, Michael Conlon, and an awful lot of the boxers come on board, and they're going to do hell and back in Sligo for Rory on the 8th of October. But even that alone is not going to bring €80,000 in. So what do you do? I mean, I have a little boy who they told me when he was 10 months old was blind in his left eye. And when he went over to America, they did 3 days of tests, and they told me, no, your son's not blind. He just needs surgeries. And with 3 surgeries, we can get his eyesight up. So he had the first surgery, and his eyesight is up 40%. I waited 12 months to see the ophthalmologist in Sligo. And when I went in to see him, the junior doctor came out and told me that he told me to go home. So I made loads of complaints, I made loads of noise, and I sent loads of emails, and we got called back in again. And on that day, you could cut the atmosphere. And I asked him straight out, why didn't you not see Rory last month? And he said he couldn't remember. And I said, that's ridiculous. What do you mean you don't remember? He said, it escapes my memory. I said, how can it escape your memory? I said, you told me my son was blind. I said, not only was I heartbroken that he'd started.
Okay, I don't go into individual cases. Individual.
No, but I'm just trying to...
I understand it, yeah.
Joe, that we're having to move our whole life. I'm having to take my children out of their schools because of the neglect of the HSE. Because they will not help me to enable my son. All I want to do is get my little boy walking. There is so much hope for my son walking. He is halfway there. I got him halfway there, and they will not meet me halfway. Okay. They will not offer me any support. Yeah,
while I have you there, please mention that other event again. I know you glanced over it. It's because you didn't see it.
We're doing
on what date?
It's on in Sligo on the 8th of October. We'd only be delighted for the public to sign up.
Okay, is that a website or to hell and back in Sligo?
It's www.rorygallagher.com and sign up there. But like that's not the real issue.
I know that. I'm just trying to think of any way we can help.
We have tried our damnedest for our little
when are you heading back stateside?
I need to have €80,000 gathered up by the 1st of November because the surgeries will not go ahead unless the money is in the doctor's account.
Okay.
We have a GoFundMe page set up. There's almost €6,000 raised. I'd be delighted if anybody would like to donate into it.
We put all
Don't
worry, Shauna. We put all those details up, and I understand your distress, and people listening can understand your distress as well. That's Shauna. Shauna is in Sligo 51551.